Here we are in downtown's Union Station, one of the last of the great train stations built in 1939. And this year, they're celebrating their 85th anniversary. The station was commissioned in 1933 and designed by the father and son architect team of John and Donald Parkinson, with an innovative blend of Spanish colonial, Mission Revival, and Art Deco architecture, now commonly referred to as Mission Moderne. The stunning facility was completed in 1939 for reported $11 million and opened with a lavish star-studded 3-day celebration attended by 500,000 Angelinos. Within just a few years of opening, Union Station transformed into a bustling 24/, 7-day-a-week operation. With a nod to the past and an eye on the future, Union Station is one of Los Angeles' premier destinations. Although during the pandemic, a few of the attractions temporarily closed and have finally been reopened. So we're about to walk into the Harvey. Now, the Harvey did premiere in 1939 on opening day, but it closed in 1967. It's been renovated. We're gonna go inside, and they found some pretty cool historic relics when they were renovating it.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Show me what you've done. We're in the Harvey room. How would you describe this architecture?
It's Spanish modern Art Deco, and Mary Coulter, who was the interior designer and the architect for Fred Harvey, had a heavy Native American influence, which you see in the floors and the walls throughout this space specifically.
And why was it called the Harvey?
Fred Harvey was the first entrepreneur of America. He essentially began chain restauranting as we know it today and opened up, I believe, about 84 Harvey houses throughout the Southwest.
Oh my gosh.
This was the last of the Harvey houses, and I believe it's the most beautiful.
It is definitely beautiful. When you come in to restore a room like this, how much do you depend on historic photos?
We do depend a lot on historic photos. There are not as many historic photos of the Fred Harvey. I believe there's only 3 known black and white photos of the mezzanine.
Now, what about the clock?
The story was that someone had stolen the clock within the 30 years prior. So we dug through our archives and found blueprints of the original clock, and then we recreated it and connected it to the master clock system.
And now what happens to the Fred Harvey? Is it open for parties? Can you rent it?
Yes, it is primarily an event space. We're open to all opportunities for it to become open to the public. I personally want as many people from the public to see this space. It is my favorite space.
So I heard when you were renovating that you found some like historic relics like in walls and stuff.
We did.
You have some of the relics?
I do.
Stuff that you found?
I do, yeah. We have an ashtray.
This is a
Year,
letter. 1949. Wash your hands and arms after using the toilet. Beautiful menu.
Yeah. The fun thing about it was the prices. We did collect some of the postcards.
Wow.
It's a saddle soap tin.
It still has a lot of saddle soap in it.
And this was the opening day celebration day.
Romance on the rails. And of course, I'm dying to see the upstairs.
All right.
Oh, how beautiful. What a POV from here.
Yeah, this is my favorite view.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is my favorite
You can
view.
really see the Navajo pattern in the floor.
Yes, you do. Actually, I really see it better now.
So when we did the restoration of this space, this handrail was a different color. There were 12 layers of paint. We had to select the historic color. The cork ceiling, we vacuumed and brushed with toothbrushes to get all the tar and the nicotine off of the ceilings.
It is stunning, and I do see the cork.
And then all of the light fixtures that you see here were recreated from original blueprints. We didn't have these light fixtures. We had to recreate them
They're
from
so
blueprints.
pretty.
And that's one of the original dumbwaiters.
Now that's a relic in itself.
Yeah.
You'd hit the dumbwaiter door open, and food would be sent up, right? And then sent back down.
Sent back down, the dishes would
These
come.
were common back then, weren't they?
Very common. Celebrities like Shirley Temple, Bob Hope would come and dine in this particular area, which is why we believe that there's not that many photos.
I can feel the presence of the good ship lollipop.
It's a sweet trip to a candy shop.
There has been a plethora of television shows, movies, commercials, all filmed here at Union Station. I do know American Gigolo had a scene in this room.
You wanted me to come over, I came over.
But what else was filmed here? Nobody knows better than Pete Bronson. He's Senior Vice President and partner of the Hollywood Location Company.
Over the last 25 years, we've been involved in just about 2,000 individual projects. Now that's filming and special events combined.
Wow. Because this place is so authentic. There's no movie set that ever could recreate what's here already.
Absolutely. It's one of a kind,
Yeah.
and its proximity to the Hollywood studios just makes it a very attractive location for sure.
Tell me some of the movies that have been filmed here over the last 25 years.
The biggies, Catch Me If You Can. Great scene as Leonardo DiCaprio comes in. Elizabeth Banks is the bank teller.
I'd like to take you out for a steak dinner.
The Dark Knight Rises, where Cillian Murphy, he's the judge in the kangaroo court.
Death or exile?
Hail Caesar, right outside these doors here. They played as kind of like a studio entrance.
Yeah.
There's the great scene in The Way We Were when Robert Redford and Barbara Streisand are kind of pushed into this closed restaurant, and they engage in some pretty heavy dialogue in that sequence.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that people are more important than any witch hunt.
Seabiscuit, Pearl Harbor, Cheaper by the Dozen, Gangster Squad, Star Trek, First Contact, where Patrick Stewart playing Jean-Luc Picard is transported back in time, and he's at kind of this nightclub cabaret, pulls out a Tommy gun to take out the evil board. And then just most recently, the episodic television series SWAT did a great chase scene where the police officers are going after the bad guys, coming across Alameda. They try and intermingle into the general public of Union Station. They track them through here, and then they do a great high fall over the balcony.
Suspect south into the restaurant.
So not only movies and television shows, music videos.
Oh, we've done some great music videos here. Pharrell's Happy.
That's what you want to do.
The band Train did Drops of Jupiter over in the Ticket Concourse.
Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day?
And right here in the Fred Harvey, one amazing video, Fiona Apple's song Paper Bag, that was directed by her significant other, Paul Thomas Anderson, at the time. The other one that I just saw was with Sting and Sheryl Crow performing out in the big room as well, and that looked wonderful.
My demons and my angels reappear.
This is an original, gorgeous structure that doesn't need any set dressing, right?
No.
When you need to do a scene from back in the day.
Totally,
Yeah.
and that's a great point. So if you're doing a period piece like Bugsy,
Yeah.
you can roll right up in front and the facade looks just the way it did back in the day, but it's still modern day. I think the most recent production that's coming out soon, Beverly Hills Cop 4.
This place has got layers of time all over it, right? And so you could make it any year.
What's kind of neat too is the year that it was opened, 1939, what an incredible year for movies,
know.
right? Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz. When we brought in the Academy Awards, the Oscars, back in April of 2021, that I think was everything coming full circle, and that was really a huge deal.
This is where they held the Oscars in 2021 because they needed a space that was social distanced, and this would have been the perfect place, right?
Correct.
And so how'd they do it?
Well, the executive producer, Steven Soderbergh, that
Yes.
year knew that they needed to spread people out to have a COVID-friendly but in-person Oscars. So what they did was they built a tiered dinner theater type setting right here where everybody was kind of in their own little
So
semicircular booth.
they were up there.
Yeah, kind of tiered over.
Oh,
it was
yes,
built
sure,
down.
because you can see, yes.
Correct, and then the stage was right in front of the middle set of doors right here, facing back out. And there's this wonderful opening sequence where Regina King grabs the Oscar from the north patio, and they track her all the way through with one continuous shot as she comes up to the stage and welcomes everybody to the
I
show.
remember that. Okay, let's say I'm gonna throw a birthday party here. How would I inquire?
Go to unionstationla.com, fill out our little form that you provide then your potential dates and
Yes.
what areas you're interested in, and then we will respond with the appropriate details and requirements that you might be looking at to do that event on that day.
And I could bring my own caterer and decorate it the way I wanted to.
Yes, that's one of the big, huge benefits of coming here to Union Station. We have no restrictions or mandates on having to use a particular caterer. So that's a huge savings for people right now to be able to
Yes.
bring in that from the outside with their own service provider in that way.
Tell me about those chairs that have been around for decades, right? Since the beginning of the train station.
There's nothing like being enveloped like that,
Right.
again, with the surrounding architecture and the chair itself to make you feel like you're transported back in time.
They are iconic. Ah, so roomy and nice. This is like, feels like I'm on a train right now.
Absolutely.
This is so nice. How many trains come through here a day?
We're totaling over 1,000 between the trains and the buses and all the various modes of transportation that come in and out of the station.
Well, I have a little time. My day finished early. Where should I go?
How about we go north? We take the surf liner to the Central Coast. It's beautiful and much cooler
And
this
you
time
can
of year.
do this in like a day and then come back, right?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Get my ticket.
Go.